Like, why? You don't need that many tanks. You don't need more than 2 tanks. 2 tanks is more than enough, always. You don't need more than 2 frontliners. It's always better to have some, like an enchanter or something like that, for your, like, 3rd champion. Yeah, I did a coaching at the start of the stream. You can always watch the VOD later on. It's just always at the start of the stream. Damn, I was able to hit him. It doesn't feel like he's gonna go for it, so I'm just gonna give ground. It's fine. I'll just hit a Q, level up W, be fine. I go W second. There you go, bud. I don't need to wait for a Q to hit, because I have some HP regen and full HP right now. Are you just playing? I'm just trying to see if she's any good. I think she might have, like, some potential. I'm not, like, sure how much potential, but I think she has some. Well, that was really well played by the enemy team to win trade us. What the hell? Probably didn't even need to use barrier. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't give them a kill window. And I'd rather trade my barrier than, have to, like, use heal reactively or something, you know? I'm gonna use silencer damage. Don't normally do that, but... No, they never did that. They never reduced the Q damage to minions. They nerfed the Q healing instead, which was a terrible change. They should have shipped that change. I like this AD. He's always down to fucking battle. I'm not convinced resetting is actually correct here, but whatever. I think I just wait for boots. Just chill here for a little bit. Wave's gonna push back to us anyway. What's a good criteria for a reset? I mean, the wave was crashing into the turret. It technically wasn't, like, that bad of a reset since Vayne actually pushes kind of shittily, so having a health advantage where you can reset is, like, not bad. But I would have preferred, honestly, to stay and just, like, pressure their AD carry. I felt like their AD carry was incredibly low on HP, you know? Like, I didn't feel like it made sense to... He can't click it. Also, that was kind of funny. Make sure I don't walk into the circle. If I walk into that circle, I give him the ability to jump. You can't take the lantern if you're hit by the silence, by the way. That's why I use the silence that way. Lee also doesn't need help with dragon. Did the buffs make her playable again. I'm not sure that the buffs actually make her playable, but circumstances of a game can always change, which can be indirectly good buffs to a champion. So, for example, right, if I actually play the game correctly, bottom lane doesn't matter at all in laning phase anymore. It's really a fucking waste of time to try to snowball bottom, because if a soul laner gets ahead, they will always outcarry the bottom laner in the mid game. So, because of that, people shouldn't come to my lane and fuck with me. So I should just be able to sit here and pick my nose for 6 levels and just farm, like, reasonably safe, right? So because those circumstances and the landscape of the game have changed, right, then my champion becomes more powerful because I have a global ultimate that can impact the solo lanes and skirmishes. I went CD. So, like, do I think the SORAKA buffs, like, make her playable now? Probably not. But I think that these games where it doesn't make sense to camp the bottom lane anymore, right? Or, like, not interact with it as much. I mean, it definitely plays to this champion's strengths, because once I hit 6, I can start flipping fights with my jungler, right? You show your minor runes. No, that doesn't work. I went an armor rune, an MR rune, and a 1 to 10 CDR rune. I didn't take any adaptive. No AP. I mean, the 1 to 10 is 1 to 18. Okay, we have the push now. I can pink her. I don't need to clear that word. Let's try. They really need to buff Spell Thieves. Probably. I mean, there's just no reason to actually take Spell Thieves. It's a terrible item right now. I'm really trying to focus on whether or not something stupid happens over that rift. It's really a lot more important. Not even on, like, mage supports. If you play a champion that needs to harass 24/7 to make income, and you get camped or fall behind early and you can't harass anymore, your quest is done at 15 minutes. So, like, outside of, like, super, like, fringe picks that are, like, can, like, harass from really far away, yeah, I don't really like Spell Thieves basically at all. So, like, Zyra's fine. Like, Xerath is fine. You know what I mean? Like, these things that, like, farm from, like, really far away, it's like, okay, sure. I don't know if that kills him, so. He should not come down here. Oh, what the fuck? I ultied to heal, to, like, keep that guy alive, and he still killed himself. I fucked up. Should have been here to grab the wave. Wish I didn't have to give my flash for that. There's no fruits, I'm not staying. Oh, I caught it. Silence soon. Ooh, I almost walked in and healed him. That would have been really bad. I have really just been playing this game on a razor's edge for sure. Whew. I don't have redemption done, so we'll just do this. Don't do that. Oh man, what a fucking waste. They're really still doing that? Holy shit. Alright. I want to get a ward on it, just to make sure that they don't do it, but this is a colossal waste of everyone's time. I want my Vayne to at least be soaking EXP and gold. I don't really care about myself. My pink's in a fine spot. We have Karma at the moment. I don't think she does. I don't think she gives you enough power in lane to warrant how useless she is as the game goes on. Also, no ultimate Omega Law. Yeah, I just think she's super bad. Since people have questions about a lot of supports, could you go over some after game and give your general opinions on them? I mean, I just take it as I go, because I've actually been asked the same question like 80 times. So I mostly just wait for people to ask the questions, then I usually give a response. Sometimes I make commands for stuff if it's like a really just like, you know, every 30 seconds I'm being asked it, but otherwise, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you're just curious about something, just feel free to ask. You don't really berate anyone for asking questions. That was a lot of HP to lose. I don't know what that guy was thinking. Maybe he wasn't thinking. Swain Conquer or Electrocute? I mean, Conquer is way better for team fighting, but Electrocute is way better for lane. So it just depends on whether or not you have a vested interest in whether or not the lane goes well or if the team fight goes well. I think it's personal preference at that point in time. Why take barrier instead of exhaust or ignite? Because a lot of times the biggest problem with taking exhaust is how short range it is. And a lot of times you have to put yourself in danger to get value out of the exhaust. So it's like not worth it in a lot of cases. Much better just to take the barrier and be a lot harder to kill. Especially since they already nerfed this Q so hard that it doesn't really heal you for that much. So having tools that keep you alive is very important. What the fuck? What do you think about Sona? She feels great when you hit level 11, but holy shit, she feels like shit until she hits level 11. And she doesn't have great tools to, like, get to late game. Like, Nami has bubbles, you know? Like, Soraka has, like, silence. Like, I have, like, tools to help. Whereas I don't feel like I have very many tools on Sona. I don't think the ult should ever be considered a tool. It's, like, pretty useless a lot of the time. I guess it's not terrible in lower elo games, but, like, for me, my experience is you just try to ult and someone flashes it. It's just, like, and it's such a long cooldown early that it just feels like shit. Constantly waiting for that ult to come back off cooldown is really rough. I can't clear that. It's a waste of my time. Should just reset here and get my redemption. It's too powerful of a spike to skip over. Do you go blue ward often? Just depends on the win conditions of my champions and what my champion's doing. I swapped over to blue trinket in this game because I don't feel like I'm going to be standing in any brushes anytime soon controlling vision because there's no neutrals up for a while. So I'd rather just have this to have extra vision in locations and be able to scout areas before I need to get vision down. Because we actually don't have great face checkers on our team. Like, a lot of our champions are, like a bit squishy, I would say. Not, like, super squishy, but, like, they're a bit squishy, for sure. I'm super down to fight for this spot. Maybe I can bait her. I was kind of hoping I'd get a little bit more than that, you know? I gotta let that cocoon hit me so that they would go in on me. Fair fight happening here. I don't think I quite need ult yet. Use ult here. Damn, didn't quite keep him alive. If I had saved my ult, I might have been able to save him. I think I'm just gone now. There's no point in being here. How much AP do you have? 65. This build's not about your, this build's not about AP. It's about your item CDR and bonus healing and shielding. And CDR. CDR is also pretty helpful. This is all about having your redemption do a lot of the heavy lifting. I don't understand that kick at all. I will conquer this pink ward that I have always wanted to destroy. Doesn't AP make your heals way better? So does healing and shielding. But healing and shielding gets triple the effectiveness on your redemption. AP doesn't. So the HP at. I had a bad silence there, but it's not going to really matter. Huh. Shouldn't have actually walked onto this, but it's fine. Oh, I think we could have dove him pretty easily. Yeah, I should have probably forced down instead of forcing top, because they don't need my help with Malachi, right? Whatever, I'm just gonna go to mid and call it a day. Stop regretting my decision. Indecisiveness is making me look like an idiot. They don't have enough damage to kill me either with my redemption and barrier. I think I've seen you with blue trinket more than red trinket. That's because I've mostly been playing enchanters who just like don't care about vision control. They just care about making sure that you don't face check bad spots. So that's why I have a lot of times blue. Plus, I'm actually being dealt a lot of bad hands too. Sometimes I just have to go blue trinket because I can't fucking control the map because my team feeds early. It's just an adaptable thing that you have to do sometimes. There's nothing they can do to stop us here. Bond of Life is so nutty. It's so useless. When you don't build HP, it's a very useless thing. Either build Shirilias or Ardent next, because I want more healing and shielding. I might get Ardent just because I have Font of Life, so when I hit Qs... So if you didn't know this, if you build Ardent and you have Font of Life, if you debuff somebody with Font of Life and your teammate hits it, it reads it as you healed them. So because if you have Ardent, then you heal them, it procs Ardent. Yo, what's up, Josh?